And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Planet Crafter. A couple different things we can be doing today. One of the things I'm going to go check up on right now is what we can pick up with the trade rocket. Get us an idea. What we may be trying to save up for. Could visually save up for the cooking station. Coca seed, wheat seed. I believe we're far enough along in progressing the terraforming that we no longer are getting pressure or heat fuses from searching wrecks. So that'll be the other things we can save it for. Also a really valuable tree seed there. A lot of the stuff farther down are much more expensive. Okay, so we got a couple different things we can save it for. I think crafting-wise, we're kind of waiting for a little bit more terraforming to happen. So we might try to take out the rover and go crafting. This is on the 2.0 patch, so you can already see some of the changes here, which is by default lockers show the first item in them on the locker. There's been a new biome added, and a couple other things I think have been changed. Yeah, so that's the right. We've got things terraforming. That's a new thing we didn't need to see. We're about halfway to teleporter. Water life collector we're going to need probably for getting animals. The tier 2 optimizer is going to let us put more fuses in the same number of machines. The tier 3 ore extractor is going to let us mine what we want where we want, although we're a decent way off from that. We would like to get to tier 5 heater, so simply increasing biomass is probably the way forward to get more heat. Same thing for more pressure, right? So we're not really going to be worried too much about heat and pressure. Insect spreader would also be nice to get. And I can push for a little bit more butterflies. What I think we're going to do early on here is we have one batch of oxygen and plant fuses. If we can, it would be nice to get another pair. And the solution to that in the midterm is probably to go out and explore. Let's get the inventory empty. Somehow. I gotta find more storage space. Yeah, find some storage space. We'll take the rover out. In search of some more fuses and some more stuff to effectively loot. The other thing to do, I suppose we can do that before we go. So just make more fertilizer so we can make more of the plant stuff. I think the audio is a little loud. I can turn the audio down a little bit. Although I think that's probably personal preference. I haven't changed it since the last time we played, so it might be... in theory, the temperature hasn't changed, or the sound hasn't changed by very much. Do we have a silicon in storage? No. So we're going to get the silicon. I'm going to have to get algae for the fertilizer. Oh, I have silicon there. Saves us effort to go get some silicon. But yeah, I think we're gonna take the rover out and about, and just sort of loot a bunch of stuff out of wreckages. And then we're probably at the point where I want to build up how much plants we got going and such. When we come back after looting some of the wrecks. And grab the beans and the honey, so we've got something to make into high quality food to take with us. Oh, and supposedly I think they also changed the skybox in the game. So the moons that are other actual planets in the game will update with their terraforming progress as you terraform them now. We'll use that camera. And I gotta decide where we want to take the vehicle. Okay, planning on taking the vehicle out to do some exploring. We're basically going to go around looking for the chests. So we can go ahead and try to get another plant fuse, another oxygen fuse. Because really we want more oxygen, which is going to come from plants. We want more plants just to have biomass. Assuming we can get that to work that way. Driving our spaceship of a rover around. Oh, in addition to the skybox, I think they added a jetpack module to the car. Obviously, we don't have it yet because it's only just been added, but it's now a thing we could have added to the car. Check out this pond here, see if there's anything in the pond. And right-click to exit. And again, there's plenty of resources out and about, but we're really looking for the chests at the moment, because most of the generic stuff we have, or have ways to basically make as much of it as we want. Got ourselves a satellite here. Not necessarily seeing anything useful on the satellite. Oh, okay, so the whole thing's eludable. No, so we've picked up an osmium rod, a couple of iridium rods, a uranium rod, some more seeds and such. Okay. I think that's everything down here. So what I can see. Fill the trunk up and get back inside, and we can go off doing more exploring. Another body water. We'll see if there's anything down that one as well. Found something down to one. Now we gotta check all of them. A cave down the bottom here. A little bit of osmium, a little bit of pulsar quartz. Take the pulsar quartz. Don't necessarily need the pulsar quartz right now. Although when we're going to want it, we're going to be wanting it. So I might as well grab it while we see it. Some rocket engines. The big ticket items we might find in those blue chests are, again, the oxygen fuse and the plant fuse. Most of the other stuff that would be sort of vaguely big ticket is actually amalgams of smaller ticket items that we maybe don't have the crafting recipe for. Like, I don't have the crafting recipe for the osmium rod, I believe. And we can find those in there. So that's a big ticket item, but the fact that I think it's like 9 pieces of osmium that gets put together to make the rod. Yeah, we're kind of at the phase in the game where the terraforming progress is at least going to feel like it's slowing down, because we're not necessarily getting a bunch of unlocks back to back to help us move through the tech tree faster. We're going to have to be doing a little bit more exploration if we want to keep ourselves entertained. Another body of water over here. Another thing that might be tempting to do is to redesign the base. Although, again, that's not necessarily going to help us move quicker. You've got someone else's base here. Underwater. Okay, we'll read that when we get back to base. Or if you want to read it now, you can pause and read it. This is someone else's base. This is now underwater, and side effect very useless to me, other than a little bit of looted. That might be all that's down here, though. In fair, it was one storage locker worth of stuff, so not too terrible of a hole. Blue chest over there. Let me drop the contents of my current inventory and we'll go to that one. Oh, there's a wreck in the cave over there. Actually getting quite full inventory-wise. I might have to take the rover back to base to empty it out. Oh, there is a wreck, but it's behind a bunch of rock I have to explode. It was far enough away, the terrain that I have to explode, it wasn't loaded in, but I could see the thing behind it. That's what was going on there. The other thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if there's a good way to get the truck around to where we have the uranium mine. Not that we need the uranium anymore for power, because we have the pulsar quartz power source. Fabric, cool. And yeah, we can, maybe the question when we can get back up this hill, but we can get around reasonably easy to this area here. That is my uranium mine. See how much of the useful stuff we can take along with us. Might take the iron out here and we'll make a bunch of chests to store stuff. In here. Oh, and that's a new page. It's now sorted. So we can go by base building, machines, biomass, screens, furniture. Which is currently what I'm looking for. Yeah, don't think I need anything in there for the moment. And you're full, so we're definitely thinking about going back to base. Relatively soon. Okay. New sort of tutorial message telling me, hey, tier 2 extractor mines common and rare ore depending on its location, extract more of certain ores. Yeah, that information I didn't need. There we go. So, in this case we know it's mining uranium, which is why we set it up here. load of uranium. See if we can get this thing back to base. I don't think we can get through that little patch there, but I think we can get up the hill here. Type of butterfly larva. Until I have a way to grow butterflies outside, I'm not really interested in the larva. Because right now, I think the way the larva works is we're actually technically gambling based off the available recipes. So we're not necessarily going to get what we want. I put the set the recycler up so we could recycle in the back, but we're not necessarily guaranteed to get what we want every time. Looks like the aluminum biome is starting to grow some interesting plant life on top of the aluminum chunks. Almost coral-like. Oh, there's a blue chest there. Or we weren't full, I'd dilute it. In the short term, I'm probably worth shooting a few rockets off. We got a few rocket engines, so we're good on potentially doing a couple rocket launches here. Okay, there we go. Obviously need the uranium out of the inventory, otherwise we're going to be very full. We've done a little bit of sorting to get all the uranium in the same location. Just a quick check to make sure what materials I want for given rocket types. So I could technically bring these two down for heat and magnetic field, but I think we're good for the moment. I don't really want to go running around trying to pick up the iridium in the uranium ores. Plant's very tempting, seed's very tempting. So seed gives us oxygen, plant gives us plant. Let's see what those need. So super alloy, fertilizer, tree bark, and a seed. The other one requires mutagen stuff. Come over here, grab some tree bark. I think that's a lerma seed. Yeah. Might not have any mutagen or bacteria samples sitting around at the moment. I'd have to probably make it. You have super alloy at least. Might need some more super alloy. Okay, I got enough for 2 launches. Okay, so we're just the mutagen and the biosample down. That's water algae and methane cartridge. Okay. we'll get 6 methane. Or 6 algae, 6 water. Oh, I'm gonna have to take 2 trips to get this processed. The methane cartridge. And then I come out here and grab some water. Drink some of it for our character. And the rest can be made into bacteria samples, so I got enough for 2 launches. Let's get 2 rocket launches back to back, and we'll work to unload the rover, so we've got space for the next foray out into the world. Off goes the rocket. Oh, I need to grab a second engine. It'll be easy enough to do. Just gonna pull it out of the rover. So we've got multiple in the rover. Off goes another one. And we'll give it a little bit while before we do any more launches because we need to wait for the tree bark to regenerate. I didn't save any metal. Any iron. Let's see if I can pull some iron out of the local mine. Because if I can, I'm going to set up another locker, because I think we just need more storage space. We're getting the tutorial messages, the new tutorial messages. Don't exactly need them, because we've obviously been playing the game for quite a while at this point. The game has only just added the tutorial messages, so it's got to be like, oh, you haven't seen this tutorial message, have the tutorial message. It's our game. I didn't need that help. I don't want to go around sorting this. Let's put all the bio products in the same storage if I can. It'll be easier to find later. So you're going to be fertilizer, fertilizer 2, fertilizer, bioplastic nuggets, that sort of stuff. Already been putting seeds upstairs, although I'm probably out of space upstairs. You're full. You can fit another. Shove another in there. Oh, I had some iron up here. I've got a whole chest of iron up here. That's what I get for not looking at the stairs. Got more super in there. I'll put the zeolite in here for the moment. That's a batch, next batch. Okay, right now, I don't think I have anything that uses the quartz. Besides the nuclear fusion generator. There's an argument just to be slamming the quartz straight into that. And when we have more power, so that whenever I'm thinking about building something, I just don't have to contemplate, do I have enough power for it? I just build. Nope, we got asteroids coming back. Bring them down, at least one. I wonder what sort of asteroid set this is coming in. Is it generic or something interesting? I think this is just generic. Generic junk. Yeah, well, not exactly generic because it's dropping aluminum, but again, I don't need aluminum. It's not something fancy like uranium or plasma quartz. And we got a mine for uranium. Sensible plasma. Well, not all the plasma quartz, but some plasma quartz. The amount that would actually let us make a generator. Limit here for the moment. Rockets in there. Oh, biozims. Probably want to put in there. And we got a chest of uranium. An explosive in the 5% one, so you. Your full seeds. Got more iridium up here, okay. Actually, let's take all this out. I'm gonna make another chest. Need more storage. Oh, need to grab more iron if I'm gonna do that. Okay, how goes the unloading? Still got a lot to go. Yeah, still got a lot to go. Rapidly running out of space. As you do. Take the sulfur out of there, because obviously we have enough sulfur. We probably want to dedicate a sulfur chest. I think I accidentally embedded that with the wall. Probably be fine. Blue in the blue. I'm not sure where we're putting the light. What does he light there for the moment? Okay. And I should be able to grab what's left. We can get back to exploring again. You know, I'll put the osmium. Actually, I should put the osmium rod in the osmium chest, not in the super rally chest. That way, if I go to grab osmium to make a rod and see a rod, I go like, ah, I don't need to make a rod of osmium. I have one. Same thing with putting the uranium in the uranium chest. Oh, I actually have enough pulsar quartz for another fusion generator. I don't have enough super alloy. That's a different problem. Although I could draw by the super alloy mine, that wouldn't take too long. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take a trip by the super alloy mine. Because I need one. I think it's one more. One more. Unless I have one hidden somewhere, and I wouldn't discount the fact I have one hidden somewhere. Nope, doesn't appear to have any anywhere. Okay. We're gonna have to go to the super alloy mine to pick up some super alloy. We'll probably just pluck the entire mine while we're there. It's complaining about hydration, but we're gonna go swimming. We're gonna go flying past some water, so that's not a real concern. There we go. Hydrate the character nice and quick. And yeah, our terraforming is progressing. It's a little slow, so you can see in the upper right it's not visibly moving unless you sit there watching it for a bit. And that's partially because we're sort of in that awkward transition phase of we don't really need more heat or pressure. And we're probably better off waiting until we get enough oxygen, not oxygen, enough plant life to get the tier 5. Instead of building more in the tier 4. Just pluck the whole thing. You know what? There's no reason I can't just... Oh, apparently there's a reason I can't just pluck the thing here. Okay. I have to be outside or something? I'd have to be outside. Sure. Let's plop that down, get it out of inventory. And, well, at this point we should have plenty of power. If anything, actually, maybe we need to start doing stuff with the power. If you want to see that terraforming index move at an appreciable speed. That probably needs to be more plants and more insects. Although insects, really, I'm holding off. So I could do some silkworms or stuff, right? And silkworms actually wouldn't be that bad if we had the autocrafter. Because technically you set the silkworm, the autocrafter next to the silkworms, and the silkworms next to the trade thing, and every once in a while just go by and pick up the silk and shove it in the trade rocket. Back to now that I'm thinking about that. Autocrafter, zeolite osmium, super alloy bioplastic nugget. Okay, we got most of that. Oh, that's the DM blue. Where's the autocrafter? I think we have the autocrafter unlocked. There's the autocrafter. Super alloy rod. Okay, so we'd need 2 super alloy rods. I think we've got 1. And I'm not gonna go. I don't think we're mining that much super alloy. To be worth making another rod right now. So, and that'll need 2 crafters because I gotta craft the silk into fabric. No, it's silkworm in the silk fabric. Either way, I'm gonna have to get a silk farm, which is something we've unlocked. Oh, it's in the biomass tab. That would explain why I'm having difficulty finding it. There we go. So we need to get 3 silkworms, a warble, oxygen capsule, and zeolite to make silk. This doesn't even generate any insects; it just makes the silk. So other than having something to export, it's not a massive rush. Get more circuit boards. We don't need them really right now. Their main use is going to be in making the drones when we get drones later. So we can start gathering them right now, but we don't need them right away. Okay, so we got the ship, or we got the rover ready to go out about. Do you want to make another pass on eggplants before we go? Could push out more flower spreaders, or could push out some more tree spreaders. Tree spreaders, I think, if we want plants and oxygen, is maybe a better play, yeah. Although that means I need to make a tree seed. Has the tree bark regenerated since we were last here? It has. Okay. Let's make a tree seed. So our best tree seed comes from a Rima plant. I don't think we have any Rima plants. The next best we're going to have is Tusca seed. So we can find a Rima, use a Rima. If we can't, grab Tusca seed. So Nula, not an Arima. Those are Nulas. Yeah, I think the best we're going to get is the Tusca seed. Tusca seed mutagen. Although maybe the question is, do I have enough Tusca seeds? Here's a Tusca seed. Okay. I need a mutagen. Oh, that's a new tree seed. What's that tree seed? Okay, Volnus planet. Yeah, that would be better if we had one of those. We don't have one of those. Bacteria. Don't have any mutagen, but we can make it out of the bacteria sample pretty easily. Methane cartridge sulfur. Go outside to grab the methane cartridge. Pull some fresh oxygen. I need a sulfur. Sulfur in there. Not the methane cartridge. We want seed, mutagen. Set it researching. And while it's researching, we can get the rest we need, rest of the items we need together for the tree spreader. So another bacteria sample, super alloy. Zeolite, okay. Let's put this off in the right chest. Or the filter eyes in the right chest, we can find it later. Okay, so we got everything for this tree spreader. I just need the seed to put in it. Not quite done. I can set the tree spreader up, I suppose, before we put the tree in. Just gotta figure out where we want to put it up. I'll put it up on the hill over there. Someone I'm going to have to make the base bigger because I'm going to want more space. At the moment, I think they're good. Maybe not perfect, but good enough. Anyway, just put a tier 2 tree spreader up here. Anyway, what we're kind of hoping for is that we can get the butterfly farms soon. Personally. Which is 3.25 kilotons of butterflies, so we're about a third of the way there. Which is why the tree spreader, just getting more tree spreaders out is worth doing. And or getting out to outdoor farm. Setting up vegetables so we can use outside space and get a lot more growing at a time would be useful. quite done. Let's go harvest some food for the road, because we're going to go exploring fairly soon. Well, I think that'll be next part, this rate. More honey. The game has decided I need more pulsar quartz, and I just went into second person view by accident. I got some pulsar quartz crash. Oh, I may get the fabric in the biolander. Okay, so that's not super viable initially for crafting purposes. Although I suppose it might be doable in the autocrafter as well. Game's deciding I need more power. Okay, so with what we've got, should be enough to actually make 2 more power generators. And again, we're going to be, like, overflowing in power. We're going to have plenty of power. Yeah, 700 kilowatts. Or 7,000 kilowatts before I even add 2 more power generators, which we're about to do. No, I don't actually have enough to add 2 more. I only have enough to add 1. Since we don't have enough super alloy. The game is literally showering me in more and more and more fusion. Probably more than I need, realistically, at the moment. What else am I missing to make that in super alloy? Iron cobalt. Okay. No iron I've got upstairs. The cobalt's actually going to be apparently the hard thing to find. I don't have any cobalt. Oh no, I have the cobalt in here too. Yep, even more power. And by now, the seed should be processed. Yep. So you can go put that seed in the grower, and then we'll go ahead and bring this part to a close. And the next one will be out exploring again, so we'll be driving the rover a little bit farther, hopefully, this time. And as we're progressing, you can see the rate that we're going through oxygen is decreasing more and more, because we're getting closer to a breathable atmosphere. We're maybe not there yet, but we're getting pretty close. Because I think that's 32. Oxygen is 32, we're at 17. Things are moving, although at this point our numbers are so big that the degree that they're moving by is not necessarily very appreciable on that screen. Nor on this screen. One of the reasons we need to get more plants and stuff going. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. This is going to be one of the longer streams because I'm preparing for going out and helping someone move. But the next stream, so we're going to be recording another 6 parts tonight. So before you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be another 6 parts recorded. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break here so I can get up, stretch legs, sip some tea. The ad hasn't played. I'll try to get the ad out of the way while we're doing that break. And then we'll be back to play this. We're going to record another 6 parts of this tonight, and then the next recording session of this will be after I'm done helping someone move. So with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.